One of the most hyped games of recent years has finally arrived, and boy is it terrifying. Sons of the Forest is an incredibly intricate and scary game that keeps you on the edge of your seat as you struggle to survive and uncover the mysteries of a hostile island. It takes all of the great parts of the original and expands upon them to give the player a truly unique experience. You start off by surviving a helicopter crash, only to have to fight for your life on what is no doubt the worst possible island destination for a vacation. The island itself is nothing short of amazing. It is somewhere around 4 times larger than the original map, and boy does it use that size to its advantage. The island itself is also incredibly immersive. One of my favorite parts of this game is the implementation of its season system. The season you start playing on is relatively random from what I know, but it's cycled from that point. Each season has its own unique challenges and difficulties. For example, in winter, you need to make sure you're staying warm, and if you can't, it'll lead to a rough time. As much as I have been truly enjoying this game, I do need to touch on a few things that need just a little bit of work. Now, before I say anything, please keep in mind that this is an early access game, so I would not be surprised that if by the time you see this video, a lot of these issues have been patched. So for me, the most annoying issue that I've come across is the infrequent crashing. Now, these crashes mainly happened to me while I was setting up tents while I was out exploring. The game would start to act strangely and then sometimes crash, making me worried every time I went to go set up another tent or another type of shelter or facility. That being said, performance is usually the last thing to be really fleshed out, so I'm not very concerned. It is what it is. Another really cool implementation is the variety of new weapons you have available. You have the same types of weapons from the original, plus new additions like slingshots, a crossbow, axes, and other types of melee weapons, and even guns. In addition to weapons, you can also find explosives and armor. Those additions will certainly prove valuable as the AI has been massively improved from the original. The mutants / cannibals / whatever the hell they are actually prioritize self-preservation over aggression, but make no mistake, they are definitely capable of killing you. When it comes to actually fighting, it is very important that you are planning ahead of time because every fight in the game matters. On the topic of AI improvements, did I mention that the enemies are actually terrifying? Like, they will go to extreme lengths to kill you. If you see a group of them, it is 100% in your best interest to run away and survive. Fighting them in groups is never a good idea. Beyond fighting though, they are also known to actually set traps and ambush you. Now, believe me, nothing is scarier in this game than walking around during the night, hearing them shriek, and then having one of them pounce on you from the top of a tree. Enemy AI is not the only type of AI that has been improved though. One thing that will make you have an easier time with your daily activities is the fact that you actually get a companion named Kelvin right at the beginning of the game. Kelvin is extremely useful, especially in the early game. You can have him bring you raw fish, and he can gather other items like sticks, logs, and rocks. His gathering skills certainly makes building your first shelter easier, and in this game you can actually safely eat raw meat, meaning you don't even need to cook the fish he brings you. Going beyond fighting and other aspects of the game, the caves in Sons of the Forest hold some of the most interesting lore points and actually helps you begin to understand the story. Once you enter the caves, you begin to find newspaper segments that talk about various aspects of the island. Going beyond that, while you explore these caves, you will eventually find bunkers that will lead to even more interesting discoveries. Now, without spoiling anything, I will say that the ending at the moment is just a little lackluster. But, like I said, the game is in early access, and I promise that by the time early access ends, it will be very polished. As it stands right now, while I might find it a little lackluster, it's still pretty good in my opinion. Now, in general, the gameplay tends to follow roughly the same formula as the original with some slight changes. These changes mainly affect the crafting system and the weapons you can find. In Sons of the Forest, there are many new and unique items you can craft, all the way from weapons and medicine to shelter structures. Now, all of these are certainly important aspects of the game, but I wanted to save my absolute favorite for last. Sons of the Forest has an incredible base building system. The game allows you to use all aspects of the environment to create a formidable and safe shelter. I have spent an absurd amount of time just building shelters, and I've really been having a blast. All in all, Sons of the Forest is truly an amazing survival crafting game that will keep you on the edge of your seat and paranoid whenever you hear a sound. I truly cannot wait for it to be more polished and to see more from the game. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.